If comfort and convenience are at the top of your shopping list, then it kind of just makes sense to go all electric. GM has recognized that, pumping out quite a few of their IQ line of vehicles, their all electric vehicles, over the last couple of years. But the first EV to wear a Cadillac crest was the 2023 LYRIQ, and it's been incrementally updated over the last couple of model years. As always, I'm going to go through this thing from the outside in, talk about what it's been like to live with, and talk about what the changes are for the 2025 model year. Let's go ahead, take a look. The LYRIQ is built on the Ultium platform, which comes in either single motor rear drive form or dual motor all-wheel drive. One motor makes 365 horsepower, 325 pound-feet of torque. Two motors makes 515 horsepower, 450 pound-feet. So quite a big jump there if you're a speed demon and you really need to go fast. But either way, it's going to be good enough to get you moving, even with this 5,600 pound body, or 5,800 if you're in the top spec with all-wheel drive. My tester here is a dual motor all-wheel drive, and the 102 kilowatt hour battery ranges from 303 miles of range to 326 miles of range, depending on your setup. Both of those numbers have gone up since last year. There have been some hardware updates to help get a little bit more efficiency out of the motor. And I don't know why I always stand here. I guess my brain can't handle change. There is no engine under here, clearly, but there is also no frunk. GM likes to package a lot of their components up here to make for more space in the back. So no frunk in the Cadillac LYRIQ. When it comes to charging, Cadillac gives you the option of going up from the standard 11.5 kilowatt charging module to a 19.5 version, should you choose to. What that'll do is it'll allow you to use a 100 amp level 2 at home. It'll get you charged quite a bit quicker. The standard one is 0 to 100% in about 10.5 hours theoretically, whereas the 19.5 is about 0 to 106 hours and 40-ish minutes or so, if my math is mathing correctly. Realistically, you're not going down to 0 every single day. It's probably not really a big deal. You'd probably be okay on the standard level 2. But note, if you're looking at the Cadillac website, it makes it look like if you go from the slower charging module to the faster one, and you lose some range, you go down from 319 to 303. When I asked Cadillac about that, they said it's not so much that the charging module makes a difference, it's that the faster module is only available on the higher up trim levels. So you get more features, bigger wheels, more weight in general. So on average, you get less range. So this Sport level 3 with the big wheels and all the luxury features and all-wheel drive is going to get closer to that 303 versus the 319. If you're looking at public DC fast chargers, you can go up to 190 kilowatts. Cadillac says you can get from low state of charge to about 80% in 45 minutes, which is a little bit slow compared to the competition. But again, realistically, if you're buying one of these, you're probably on a level 2 at home and probably running pretty close to full most of the time. So that's really only an issue on road trips. 45 minutes, sit down for a meal, not the end of the world there. But if you are taking a lot of those road trips, then something else is going to get you charged quite a bit faster. And Cadillac does have access to Tesla superchargers as long as you have one of these boys. Now, if you want data beyond what's provided by GM and the EPA, make sure to check out my partner, Recurrent Auto. I'll leave a link down below for them, but they have real world data. If you want to hook up your car to them, you can do that absolutely free. And you get insights into your battery status, as well as what you can expect in different weather conditions and how your vehicle is comparing to others of the same vehicle on the road. If you want more data like that, or insights into your battery and help the cause kind of get more information out there for other people shopping for EVs or other people driving their EVs around so they can get a little bit better data themselves, make sure to check them out. You can hook up to them absolutely free. They will not sell your personally identifiable data. They will not give away your personally identifiable data unless you explicitly ask them to. And in fact, they try to minimize what personally identifiable data they collect in the first place. So definitely make sure to check them out below. I'm a data nerd, so if I had an EV, I would definitely hook up with them. Some quick notes on the exterior before we head inside. This is a big car. It has some interesting proportions to it. So it's like lifted and stretched because you've got about a 7-inch ground clearance here, but you are about the same length as a Hyundai Palisade, even though that feels so much bigger. But it's because this has such a low roof line. So it's like lifted and stretched, and then you've got this massive wheelbase going on. This one being the Sport, you get the black trim all around the windows. You get the black mirror cast, black wheels, and black front fascia as well. But whether you go luxury or sport, level 1, 2, or 3, you get illuminated door handles, illuminated front and rear badges, as well as this little camera poking out through here because you got the full 360 view as standard on the LYRIQ. LED light here. These are power folding as well. LED headlights that will corner with you. They are adaptive. And beyond being adaptive, actually, these lights do all kinds of fancy, dancy signatures and through the back as well. So when you walk up to the car at night, it'll kind of do all this cool light signature. It'll do it during the day too. You just can't see it quite as well. It was a little bit jarring the first time I walked into my garage and its lights just flashed, but as long as you're expecting it, if you park outside at night, it's a pretty cool little welcoming feature. It would be cool to see some like actual texture in here. This is really just flat, but I like that they put some kind of design through there. It's just kind of leaving it blank. And for 2025 level 2 and level 3 trims now get hands-free liftgate standard, and it's really easy to kick to open. There's a little Cadillac logo that'll show down there. This is like the easiest kick to open system I've used. And it opens up into massive amounts of space. There's tons of space back here. There's a little bit more room down under here too. You can throw your charger down here, a little storage area. No spare tire, unfortunately, back here, but you do have 12 volt back here. You got some tie downs, and you have the ability to drop these seats down. Just power fold just down. You have to manually pull them back up, but it's nice to be able to drop them down if you're carrying something big and you just slide it in, need a little more space. You just hit that button, shove the seats down. I'm going to note these wheels. These are 22s. These are massive. And this is because this is a level 3. The level 1 and level 2 trims get you 20s. The level 3s get you these big 22s. I don't know why you would really want to go this big, other than maybe for aesthetics. It does look nicer having the bigger wheels. This is something a lot of automakers do. You go up into the top trim levels and you get bigger wheels, but I would rather be on the 20s in the level 1 or the level 2 just for efficiency and for ride quality. They look good. When you're heading inside, these door handles will present themselves. If you got your key fob in your pocket, you walk up to the door, these will come out. A lot of automakers are doing this as well, but Cadillac has flipped them around. So there's that. And then if you have it set to lock when you walk away, you can have that passive lock sitting there on the infotainment. But if you don't have it set to lock as you walk away, there is no touch out here to lock. So you have to either press the button on the inside, you got to use a key card, which is what this little icon here is for. If you have the actual physical card that you can hold up and use that to lock and unlock. You can use the phone app, or you can use the physical key fob to lock it. I wish there was some kind of button here. I know I'm kind of getting into the weeds here, but at $80,000, be nice to have this one more little convenience feature. That key card I mentioned, you can lock the car. Obviously, you can unlock it as well by holding it up to here. Then you have a set amount of time to get in and start the car. You don't start the car within that amount of time, then you have to come back out and unlock it again to reset it. But most of the time you're probably going to have at least have your phone on you. You can use your phone as a key as well. I do have the app downloaded. I don't have a physical key, but I do have the app downloaded, and you can set your climate. You can unlock the car. You can start up the car. You can find chargers nearby. You can pay at the charger with your phone when you connect to at least most chargers, as long as they're set up for that. You can also use the key fob for your standard stuff, lock, unlock, open the hatch, there's a panic, and then you can remote start from the key fob as well, so you don't necessarily have to use the app. So we're checking a lot of boxes here in terms of expectations for a luxury vehicle on the exterior, and that continues here on the interior as well. And it gets even better for the 2025 model year, where we've got standard wireless charging, Google built-in, wireless Android Auto and CarPlay, power seats, ambient lighting, and now you get even more colors this year. Intellect synthetic leather, memory seats, which are now standard for the passenger as well. Home remote for your garage door openers, auto-dimming mirror, full glass roof, and I don't even mind the giant screen on this one. I thought it was a little bit out of place in the CT5, but on the LYRIQ and on the Escalade, it just kind of fits better. I mentioned Google built-in, so you can download apps through the Play Store. You've got Google Maps through your native OS. You've got Google Assistant. You can have access to your driving modes, your safety settings, teen driver settings if you want to set up some specific settings just for your kids. Informational stuff here for vehicle history and air quality. Your standard fare plus a lot more. Then the cluster is actually a touch screen, just like in the Escalade, and you can cycle through a few different layouts and info, including a full map. Benefit of having Google built in, though you can switch that to phone projection mode if you want to use Android Auto as well. Interestingly, there is no heads-up display. I did ask about that. They said they have this 33-inch screen instead. I do still think it would be nice to have the heads-up display, because then you don't have to look down and have like things like directions and your speed limit and some of the driver's assist stuff. It's kind of nice just having that straight ahead rather than having to look down, especially since with the screen so wide, this does kind of block off the top of it. This one's got the 19-speaker AKG sound system in it. Not quite as impressive as the 36-speaker one that was in the Escalade that I had, but still definitely a pretty nice system, pretty clear upgrade from the standard 7 speakers. It's also got the nappa leather package on it. It feels very luxe. It's beautiful. That also gets you the wood in the doors, the alloy pedals. Really, the materials all around are very nice. They look nice and they feel nice 95% of the way. This seems to be a big thing in the luxury world for some reason. Well, you've got these nice metal buttons through here. You got these nice this nice knob for your control center, your nice volume knob, this material around the cup holders, and then you've got the glossy black kind of single flat button thing going on here for the rest of the steering wheel controls and the rest of the control center down here. So I really wish that they would have gone with individual buttons or some other kind of system that wasn't this like glossy black single giant button thing that just takes away a little bit from that premium feel. Seats are lovely, and again, memory in both the driver and passenger seat here on level 1, 2, and 3 for 2025. Heated as standard, heated steering wheel as well. I've got ventilated seats in this one since this is a level 3. It's also got massage seats. Not the most intuitive. All your controls here are through the door. Most of them are intuitive, but the massage function is not the most intuitive little knob here, and not as many different options as some of the competition has with their massage seats, but still definitely rather have that than not. Another feature up here that I love that a lot of automakers are starting to add, actually GM's been doing this for a while now, but I love seeing it anyway. So the auto dimming mirror is standard, but in level 2 and level 3 you get the rear view camera, which goes through this feed. Actually, it's not a rear view camera, it's a separate camera than the rear view camera, and it gives you completely unobstructed view out the back. You can change the brightness and the position of this as well, and even zoom in and out. But so if you have people sitting back seats often and they're kind of blocking your view, or just the fact that this has that sort of fastback shape to the back side of it means that that back window is a little bit on the small side, a little tough to see out of. This gives you that completely unobstructed view at the back, and I love that feature. The back seats are massive, 39 inches of leg room, actually more than that. And me at 5'7", I've got tons and tons of room. You could easily fit forward facing seats back here. Rear facing seats should be no problem as long as you're not a family of giraffes. We've got cup holders here in the center armrest. We've got vents. We've got an outlet back here as well as some USB-Cs. This little Cadillac with the brushed aluminum. This one being a level 3 gets the heated seats in the back. You also got your third zone of climate with your own controls back here. Again, really nice through the door with the speakers, with the handles, with the wood, the materials all around, the cup holder in the door here as well. Really just this very nice place to be back here. Whether you've got kids back here, whether you've got clients back here, this is super comfy. $1,600 gets you the dual pane sunroof. This is really quite a nice place to be. Plus, you get the flat floor because EV don't have that transmission tunnel running through. I do wish that there was a sunshade available on the doors. That's about my only real nitpick back here, but otherwise very, very nice. When it comes to the driving experience, it's really quite nice because the great thing about EVs is they ride smoothly and they're quiet in general. You don't have an engine rumbling in front of you. and you don't have a transmission shifting. Everything is just very smooth. And again, with that super long wheelbase, that helps quite a bit with the ride quality. Some of the bumps and stuff, some of the bigger bumps, you're going to feel those a little bit, of course. But that, again, I just wish that didn't have quite such big wheels. Be nice to have one with the 20s on it. That's probably what I would opt for, just to help out with the ride quality a little bit. But most of the time, the ride quality is very, very nice. It's really just when you get into those areas with lots of big potholes and stuff. And the reason for that is because bigger wheels mean lower profile tires. You lose some of that sidewall. You don't get quite as much cushion. And you'd think without the engine rumbling, the transmission shifting, all this stuff, then you notice other sounds a little bit more. But we've got the laminated glass to help keep sounds out, and there's active noise canceling, and it's really quite a quiet place to be. Really a comfortable, quiet ride. And a lot of the EVs, you hit the accelerator pedal and you're like flying off the line. And especially here at 515 horsepower, 450 pound-feet of torque, that's a lot. You'd think that you'd get moving very quickly. The way this is tuned is quite nicely done. You feel like it's just a smooth acceleration, and it's very comfortable as you're not like jolting your passengers around. You're not making anybody car sick. If you do need the speed and you kind of jab the pedal a little bit, you can milk that 450 pound-feet of torque out of this thing if you want. And if you need it to charge on a highway like I just did, where I'm very close to someone, it's there. But most of the time, it's just this very smooth acceleration that's very comfortable. And then you have the option to enable or disable your one pedal driving. So if you want to get used to driving the EV around a little bit before you dive into that, and you want to use the brake pedal and not focus so much on the regen braking, once you get used to one pedal driving, is really quite a nice experience. Don't even have to use the brake pedal. I can take my whole 30 to 45 minute commute to work with just one pedal. You can come to a full stop, in addition to being quick and comfortable and quiet and just easy to drive. It's also got a lot of different driver's assist features. It's got everything you could want, from blind spot monitoring, blind spot steering assist if you're going to steer into somebody, rear collision warning, rear collision braking. So if you're about to hit something, it'll stop for you. Same for front collision braking. It'll stop for you there. You've got OnStar if you need that for 8 years. Again, the level 2 and level 3 get the digital mirror, which again, with the shape of the hatch in the back, I would definitely want to have that digital mirror. And just because this vehicle is so long, it just helps a lot with the visibility. Visibility out the sides, totally fine. Visibility out the front is totally fine. You're not super high up like in a truck position, so you still do get pretty good visibility out the front. But again, you get that front collision braking. So when I'm dropping my kids off at school, I've got a little bit of extra peace of mind with that. Front collision braking, rear collision braking, the pedestrian monitoring, the cyclist monitoring. And then you also have Super Cruise as long as you get a level 2 trim or above. And I've talked about Super Cruise a lot in a lot of different videos at this point, a lot of different GM vehicles, but it's the best of the hands-free driving systems because, it's communicative. It's very communicative. It tells you if it's going to change lanes, it's going to put on your turn signal, it's going to give you an indicator in here, and it's going to buzz your seat in the direction that it's changing lanes. It tells you when it's looking for a spot to take over with the blue light in the wheel. It tells you when it's in control with a green light. It tells you when you need to take over with a buzz in the seat, as well as a red light in the steering wheel. It is a very communicative system, which I love, because if the car is going to do something for me, I want to know what it's doing. And it works quite well. If you start getting into like construction zones and stuff, it's not going to be happy where you get those like jogs and lanes, but it will tell you, it'll say, you're entering a construction zone, you're going to have to take over for this. But regular highway driving, and it covers something like 80% of the highway at this point, is a very, very good system. And I really love having Super Cruise. When it comes to driving dynamics, there are other vehicles out there that are tuned a little bit more towards performance. I mentioned with the acceleration and stuff, but This one is definitely leaning much more towards the comfort and the luxury and the quietness and just the easy to drive. Now, there are different driving modes if you want to use those. There's Tour, Sport, Snow and Ice, and then you can do a custom mode. You kind of set everything up individually how you want it. Your brake, your acceleration. You can even have motor sound if you want. So when you hit the accelerator really hard, then it'll give you like fake sounds. Even if you put it in sport and you dial everything into sport, it doesn't feel like a performance vehicle. There are other cars out there that handle better, that do performance better, but this one is definitely tuned more towards just comfort, easy to drive, daily commute, long road trips. It's just a very nice, quiet, comfortable place to be. I have no qualms at all with the driving experience, other than if I'm going to get super nitpicky, I wish this had the smaller wheels, and smaller wheels are available. At the end of the day, the LYRIQ has just been a lovely vehicle to live with, whether you're shopping specifically for EVs or not. If you just want a comfortable luxury crossover, I would absolutely check one of these out, especially if you can charge at home on a level 2. I did get into the weeds with a little bit of the stuff here. The glossy black buttons I don't love, but they're not nearly as egregious as a lot of the other competition for some reason in this luxury segment. That's just like a big thing, and this is not nearly as egregious, and the rest of the interior is just very well done, very easy to use, very intuitive, lots of easy switches and stuff, and the screen is very customizable. It rides very nicely, it's very smooth, it's very comfortable. It's got a lot of features that you would expect at this price point in this class. And then you get Super Cruise on top of everything else, which is a very, very nice feature. Plus all the safety features and everything. It's just, and lots of space. It checks a lot of boxes. So as an overall vehicle, it's a very nice vehicle to live with. Very comfortable, very quiet, very feature rich. It's absolutely worth the 60 to 80 grand MSRP, which is a tough price point to say that, like, yeah, it's definitely worth it, especially with EVs. A lot of EVs, they are a little bit more expensive, but at this level, luxury crossover EV, I think that price point is just about right. And with the way the EV market is right now, I bet you can get a screaming deal on a lease. You can probably get a pretty good deal on a new one as well, but I would probably look to lease one of these, and I would be very, very happy with one. I would probably avoid the level 1 at the $60,000 range and go for a level 2. I'd get a level 2 luxury trim in that emerald lake color, and I would be super happy commuting in this, carrying my family around in this. This is definitely worth checking out. As always, let me know what you think about the LYRIQ down in the comments, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.